Good morning, I'm Mary Lou with Keep Phoenix Beautiful in the Mountain View Community Garden, and today I'm going to be doing some repairs on irrigation systems. We have several leaks. The systems in our garden are several years old, and with the heat and the hard water here, it's very hard on these systems, and so we occasionally have to do some major repairs. So the first thing I'm going to do is check to see if I can fix a leak at the timer that we have. If I can tighten it up and do it, it'll be great. If not, I may have to take it off and do some repair parts. So I'm going to turn the water up so I can actually see where the leak is. Can you get it without? So, see, that's... I am very right-handed, so sometimes this is a little awkward. Okay, so I'm going to see if that is taking care of the... I think in this case we were actually able to do the repair by just tightening this up. The most important things when you're connecting things like timers and parts of an irrigation system is that you have to use plumber's tape, that you put the plumber's tape on so it's rotating the same way that your connection is rotating, because if it goes opposite then it just tears the tape off. And it can be a very, very simple fix. And I'm going to have to wait until I do a couple more repairs to be sure, because I'm not sure if I got this or if it's still wet, but we're going to check because I don't see a drip in the spot we were looking at. So we'll see how that goes. The next thing I'm going to do is we have a bad spot on the tubing, and we're going to need to replace the tubing with a new piece. I'll be able just to cut it off, but I'll have to put in a goof plug to plug the hole and repunch the hole. So let me get those parts and we'll do that. So one of the main things to make sure that you have good maintenance with is how your emitters and how they're attached, and they can get dry and cause leaks. And this one was leaking out. I think somebody had changed the type of emitter in here, and when they did, the one thing you cannot do is once you have pulled an emitter out, you can't put one in. You have to replace it. So there's a big hole here, and we'll have to go back and repair that. I can actually use the same emitter in this case, or the same tubing, because this was in good shape and came out well. And it's very simple to, if you're going to put tubing on your, where's the right thing? Whoops. To put it on is you want, put it fairly close to where the hole was, and then punch a new hole. You heard it click, so that means that I was successful at getting the hole in. And then replace that emitter into this hole, and just make sure you get it in good and tight. So it's done, and so that is a really simple repair. Now the one thing that I need to do, and unfortunately I don't have any in stock at the moment, and so I won't turn the water on, is there what they call goof plugs, and they're a very simple little plastic and it just has no holes in it, and you pop it into where you pulled the hole and it's fixed. And so it's really easy. So the other thing that I would like to talk about this morning is the type of spray emitters that you're using. There are several different types. They all look very similar, but there are bubblers, there are spiders, and then there are umbrellas. And you need to decide which type of emitter is correct for what you're doing. And one of the things I'm doing around the garden right now is switching out spray emitters, the spiders or the umbrella type emitters, in pots and putting in bubblers. And they're very tiny emitters, just like the one that we just installed. And they're really good for using with shrubs because that gets the water down low and is keeping it down close to the roots. And that's the one thing that you really want to do when you put in an irrigation system, no matter what type of system you're putting in. Just remember that you should be watering the roots, that leaves do not hold the water, well, they hold the water, they do not absorb the water, and they do not feed the plant. All of the plant feeding goes through the roots, and the water that goes through them draws the nutrients up through the plants to the leaves. So you want to keep your emitters down as close to the dirt and soil as you possibly can so that you aren't wasting water. We really want to be careful about overspray. Now Arizona's in this mega drought. We are getting cuts by the federal government on our water supply. So we want to be good gardeners and make sure that we're watering efficiently so everything is down low to the ground and spraying out. I always tell my people, you can't grow cement. So watering on the cement is not something that's efficient, so we don't want to do that. The other thing that is really important is to know how much to water and when to water. And it will vary from plant to plant, but basically when you put in seeds, you want to water, keep the top of the soil moist twice a day. Unless it's really, really hot. If you're planting in the summer and you're planting with seeds, then you're going to have to come back and do it at least 3 times a day. As the plants grow and they come up, you've got little seedlings that are about 1 inch above the ground, you can cut that water back to once a day and it'll be sufficient. And as the air is cooling down and the plants are growing, if you're watering properly and you're watering deep enough, you can go to once every other day for the most part. You have to watch your plants. If you see them not thriving, then maybe you want to go back to once a day. But overwatering plants is not an efficient use of water, and it's not good for the plants either, because the second thing that happens when you overwater, besides wasting water, is plants will throw out foliage before they will throw out produce. It's much easier to grow a leaf than to grow a strawberry or a radish or a fig. So if you're overwatering, that's what's going to happen, and then your plants get leafy and sprawly, but you're not getting produce. And so you really want to watch that and keep your plants pruned properly and water just as much as the plants are asking for, not what you think they need. And your plants will tell you what they want, because they'll start withering if it's not enough, and you'll see them just growing way too much, too fast, if it's too much watering. And that's probably the best advice I can give you. Bye-bye. Thanks for...
All day I faced a barren waste without the taste of water